Good morning. It is Monday. About my father, which is always I thought has been cool, is he's always been an avid lover of music. It's not like sometimes you'll know a guy and he just has like a radio. No, my dad had one of the very first CD players. He's into the dual tape decks. He was into the CD changers. He has had everything and tons of music. He loves movies. He's bought all the movies. Unfortunately, what has happened now is that all that stuff is obsolete. He's got great amps, but it's all the thing of the past. I mean, he still uses it because he still uses speakers and speaker wire, but the way things are headed is that, like, I use all Sonos in my salon and at my house, and that's just Wi-Fi speakers. It just runs on my phone. It sounds amazing. And there is no wires, there's no amp, there's no equipment. But so what my dad has is, well, I just slid right through a stop sign. That was complete ice. What my dad has is a ton of equipment: tape decks, CD players, a CD changer, VCRs, and I've been helping him trying to pull it all out of there because he doesn't use it. You don't use VCRs anymore. You don't use CDs. So that's what I was over there doing, helping him. And my dad's 80. There is an art to dealing with your 80-year-old father. And at my age, at his age, our paces aren't the same, our thinking isn't the same, our past isn't the same, and we clash quickly. So I have to be very patient. I tend to move at 100 miles an hour. My son David, he tends to move at about 500 miles an hour. And for my father, who is 80, it's too much. And he gets frustrated, and he gets loud, and he gets upset. I mean, I've stormed out of that house a few times. That he's wanted to storm out a few times as well. But I love my dad. He's an awesome guy, and I'm having to, because he's not changing. He's not changing. He's not going to change his ways. I don't even know if he should even have to. I shouldn't even ask him to change. I need to change my ways and how I deal with my dad. I went over to his house last night and watched the football game. One of the things that I've been working on, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, is this social media app. That does not compute to my dad. He doesn't understand. doesn't understand why I would want to do it. He takes his thinking from 35 years ago, 40 years ago, and tries to apply it to today's social things, and it just doesn't make any sense to him. We've gotten in big fights about it before, and there was a point I decided I just cannot talk to him about that stuff because it's just too tough. So, but last night I was there and we sat and watched the football game together, which we hadn't done in a long time. And we talked about my app, and he asked me how it was going, and I told him what was going on with it. And he was a little bit excited. And my dad always likes to say, which I know that I know what it means to me. He always likes to say, well, since you explained it to me that way, now I understand. And I know as a father, as a guy living his life, I can get stuck in my ways. I get set in my ways, and I'm not always open to other people's opinions. And I always swore I'll never be like my father. But, we slowly turn into like our parents. We get older. Changes. So I've had to kind of change my ways of dealing with my dad. And I shouldn't say dealing, interacting, because I do love my dad. My dad was a very strong figure in my life. My dad stood by me through thick and thin. If I was a father and my kids behaved the way that I behaved when I was a kid, their ass would be out the door. And I only say that because I know that that's how sometimes tough love works. But my dad stuck by me through thick and thin. Without my dad, I'd probably be dead. And my mother, of course, but I'm kind of speaking about my dad right now. My mom's always been a rock as well. So I love my father. He's an amazing guy. This fall, he was inducted into the Aviation Hall of Fame up in Wilmington, and I was very proud of him. My father was from the first graduating class from the Air Force Academy, and he grew up in a small town around here, wanted to get out, applied, was smart enough, and was accepted, and was part of the first graduating class from the Air Force Academy. He ended up retiring as a colonel out of the Air Force, and my dad making that choice allowed me to have an amazing life. And life is life. Matt used to say, how's life? Life's life. It's what I make of it. And my dad made a lot of his life, and I'm so glad that I'm a part of it, and that he's still around. He's slow. He built this multimedia room upstairs of us. He built this new house, 15, 20 years ago. And, the house was laid out. My dad drew up all the plans, had it all designed. And I climb up on a ladder and I look up at the rafters and I go, Dad, this would be a great place for a movie room. Sure enough, he built the movie room. Tricked it all out. Has this great little movie room. I mean, it's not like, Cribs or something, but it's a great movie room. And now the problem is, he's 80 and it's hard to get up there. So on the way up there, I followed him up, and he's, one step at a time, his damn shoes untied. I'm like, do you want me to tie that for you? So it was funny. I am going to fly the drone. I'll probably put some of the footage earlier in the vlog, but I'm going to go fly it around here. I'm coming over to the country club and see what it looks like. It's beautiful. We'll see what we got. Bye.
to try a spinning class. You know, I signed up for the new gym, Rise, and a client of mine, Elaine, was a teacher there. She's a badass, and she's been teaching spinning, I don't know, forever many years. And I've been doing her hair, and I signed up for the gym, and I'm going to try a class. I'm slightly nervous. I can handle it. I used to do spinning at the YMCA many years ago. I had been smoking and drinking, and I had really let myself get out of shape, and I decided that I wanted to start to get myself back in some shape, so I started doing spinning at the Y. I had never sweat. Sorry, I just ate a cookie. I had never sweat like that before. I mean, literally water was pouring out of my body onto the floor. I did it for a long time. Think about anything that I do. It seems like, you know, you do it, and then, you know, in the beginning they're like, you know, give it a full turn, and you're into it, and you're giving it a full turn, and then by the end of my spinning career, I probably did it for a year or so. You know, I probably wouldn't do a full turn, half a turn. I just started kind of cutting corners and stuff in it, and I just moved on to something else. I love to run. Running's really my favorite thing, but we've had a lot of snow, and I've been running for a long time, and I don't cut corners, but I stop, I walk, I chat, I make vlogs, I take pictures. I mean, it's still 5 miles. Well, I got to give a big shout out to Elaine over at Rise. I just did the spinning class. Wow, what a great job. It's great to do stuff. It's great to do a class with someone that is so passionate about it. You know what I love about Elaine is that, you know, it's spinning, and, you know, but it's a journey. You know, the class was an hour long, and she took us on a journey, and the music was terrific. She did a great job. She helped me set up my bike. I have done spinning before, but it was great to get back. I'm so excited about it. I'm going to go do it at 5:30 in the morning. Why not? Elaine, thank you. It's nice to go to a class with someone who is so passionate about what they're doing. You did an awesome job. And the gym is just amazing. I'm having so much fun. It's good to get back to a gym. And it's nice because, you know, this, when you run like I like to do, and we've had weather like we're having, you can't run. I mean, you'll fall and bust your ass. So it's nice to have another an alternative thing to do. So I'm here to pick up David. They've canceled school for tomorrow, so it's going to be me and the Big D all day. And let me go get him.